Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone's well, and I'm back with another video. Sorry. Today, I'm going to be talking about imposter syndrome and ways you can identify it and help overcome it. So let's get to it. So you finally did it. You achieved your goal, or you made progress, or you did anything worth celebrating, really. But after all the cheers and the yays, there's a small voice that lingers. But did you really do it? Or maybe it says, "Are you worthy of the praise?" Or maybe even says, "You are a failure." These thoughts and many others can bring self doubt, and that's not good, obviously. The self doubt can make you feel like an imposter. It can make you feel that you aren't really deserving of the praise you received, that you didn't do anything useful, that you suck and you aren't worth the effort. These thoughts, as you may guess, are absolutely dreadful to think of, and it seems like we're unable to stop them at times. Imposter syndrome, as it's often called, is the feeling that no matter how hard you work, you don't deserve the benefits of said work. Maybe you feel like a imposter chef, perhaps, because you just followed a recipe and you didn't add any of your own little flavor to the recipe. But that's ignoring the fact that you put the effort into the cooking itself, the getting the ingredients, the prep, the cook, the cleanup. You did all that. So even though you followed a recipe, you still put effort into the dish itself. Now, imposter syndrome can affect artists as well, since they feel like they don't deserve a following at times, or maybe there's just some sort of fluke that they got so popular, or maybe they just think their work isn't that good. Now, luckily, imposter syndrome is something you can overcome, so let's dive into how. A big part of imposter syndrome, as I've said, is feeling like you aren't good enough. Now, it's a good idea to challenge this. Why aren't you good enough? What's wrong with the work that you did? Didn't you work hard on it? These questions can help ground you before the self doubt cycle kicks in. Now, if you find imperfections in your work, then you can know what to improve next time. Maybe a line here needs to be better, or maybe you burnt the food a little. Now, if you can't find answers to why your art is good, then be sure to ask others. I've got an art friend who feels like she's not good enough despite a lot of people thinking her art is absolutely amazing, me included. So it's a good idea to remind people who go through it that they did a good job, that their art is good or their cooking or whatever else. Now, if you worked hard on a project and you put your soul into it, then you can take pride in the fact that you did it. You can acknowledge the victories that you've accomplished, however big or small. It doesn't matter if they're big or small, you did it, and it's a good job, hopefully. And if you can't tell what's a victory and what's not, be sure to ask a friend. Hopefully, they can be objective and guide you into a better mindset of what's a victory and what's not, and help you have a better perspective on things. Now, I found a method called the SBNRR method, and I'll have it in the description so you don't have to rewatch this whole thing to learn about it. This method is to help you break the self doubt cycle. First is stop. Just stop what you're doing and take a moment. Next is breathe. Simply take a few breaths to calm yourself and get into a good headspace to think. After that is notice. You notice the thoughts you have and don't think of them as here's the good thoughts, here's the bad thoughts. Just notice what you're thinking. Then the next is reflect, where you think on why the thoughts, why they've happened and whether they have any merit. Is your mind telling you that this line could be better, a good thought or a bad thought? Is it telling you that your art just sucks, good or bad? Hopefully we can tell the difference. Next, you respond, which is just trying to respond to them in a meaningful way, trying to improve maybe. So the next time your intrusive thoughts burst in and try to ruin your parade, be sure to take them captive and think on if they have any merit. One thing I wish to clarify is that pride in one's work is not the same as pride over everyone else. You can be proud, you can have pride in your work that you did a good job, but be humble. It's not the same as being, I'm so much better than everyone else. It's different. You can be humble and think you did a good job. And before I go, I'd like to say a little short prayer. I hope that's okay. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Father, I thank you for those who are on the other side of the screen, dear Lord, and I just pray that they have a wonderful day and that this video can help them some. Guide them on what they need to do and just give them the love they may need, dear Lord. In your holy name I pray. Amen. But yeah, that's all for me today, guys. I hope y'all enjoy, and I will see y'all next time. Love y'all.